Hi,
Hi.
how are you?
Oh, I'm good.
You know, perfect. So today on After Dark, we're going to talk about Miss Lori Vallow Daybell.
I wouldn't say miss.
I mean, she's still a female.
We can call her a bitch. I mean, if we're just going based off female,
Okay, so we're
that's
going
what I'm
to,
gonna call her. No.
yeah, we're going to go straight into what Brittany just said, and here we go. Sins of Our Mother is a true crime docu-series on Netflix. Um, it came out in September 2022. Of course, I slammed it right away, but I rewatched it yesterday to talk about it today. And it's about Lori Vallow Daybell. She was on her fourth marriage, I believe,
Yes.
when she became Vallow. She has two kids
Three.
from,
Oh,
well, two kids from a previous thing. Um, this docu-series is from her oldest son's um perceptive of what's happening. He was older, he was
out of her house.
married, yeah, he
Yeah.
was doing his own thing. He had a 16-year-old sister. They had past trauma on them from her biological father, and he also adopted Colby. And then after that happened, she married Charles Vallow, and then his Charles' sister son, Charles' sister's son had a child, JJ, and he was autistic, and they could not keep him and take care of him, and neither could the grandparents because they are very, her husband's aged.
Right.
Yeah. Um, so they thought that a younger couple would be easier, blah, blah, blah. So Charles adopted, Charles and Lori legally adopted JJ from Charles's nephew. Is that correct? Did I
Okay.
build
Yeah.
that
We should have
correctly?
made a diagram on the screen
Yes,
because holy
yeah,
shit, like these people,
yeah.
there's so many
It's been through,
intertwined.
yeah. And then, so she was married to Charles. They lived in Hawaii for 3-ish years, right? Um,
So,
he was very financially stable, blah, blah, blah. They had this new child that they raised from infant. That's what they know. Tylee and JJ were about 10 years apart, and they went missing in 2019. With that being said, basically, first episode, you see Charles walk to the police. Obviously, you have body cam footage, which is always golden. I love those ones because you just like see it and you're just like, how did you not see it? How
yeah.
did you not see it? How did you
No,
not see
yeah.
it?
Like like in the footage, the body cam footage, you can, to me, and I don't know if it's because we already know the story or what, but to me, you can tell immediately that Charles isn't the insane one. He
Right.
genuinely is concerned for
Yeah.
Lori and the
His
children,
children. Yeah.
and no one is fucking listening. Like,
Yeah.
I swear, like, it's mind-boggling
Yeah.
how often the system fails.
Oh, all the
That's
time.
not even to blame anyone. It's just like people are human and things get overlooked. But like the body cam footage, I'm like, he's literally like choking back tears. Like
Yeah.
he's
He's pleading.
obviously, yeah,
He's
like this man
actively
needs help.
pleading. Um, yeah, it's just absolutely crazy how that happens and how fast. But anyways, I mean, we've all watched it, and she definitely, when she talks to the cops, they're like, "Well, you have to be committed for a psych eval, blah blah blah.
What did her son say? Her son said the oldest son. What is his
Yeah,
name? I apologize.
Colby
Colby. Just said and she pulled her
song
siren-esque
song.
shit, I don't know, on her on the police.
Hmm.
And like I'm always someone that's like, shut up. Like just because the woman is beautiful doesn't mean she's like manipulating the men in her life. This fucking bitch. Like, but like I am angry at her, but also like hearing the police talk with her versus
And
how they
she's just
spoke with Charles, I'm like, you all are a bunch of morons.
totally.
Like just complete morons.
Mhm.
Like,
But you could see, like we all saw, Colby was like, I want no part of this. Like, this is between you two. You guys have your own
oh,
problems.
absolutely. I
I
could
don't want to hear
definitely,
about it. Totally. And then her
no.
mom, she's like, she got committed. She was released. How would I think that we're not the professionals? How would I not think
Yeah,
that
I
she's
do
fine?
agree. I agreed with that statement from her mom. Her mom gives me these. I go up. Oh, there's deer. Look at this deer.
Okay.
Oh, you probably couldn't see it. Falco ran it off,
Oh,
but it was literally right here in our front yard. Anyway, sorry. I'm acting like we're on a FaceTime and we're not.
you're so funny.
But her mom, I went up and down with hating her as well, but then also having empathy for her because as a mother, I understand it would be extremely hard to just completely abandon your child no matter what they did.
Right.
But, but, oh my gosh, the way she speaks about it all, and maybe it's because of her trauma and she's like disassociating herself from it, and I'm just taking it wrong as a viewer, but like, it's nonchalant a lot of times, her talking about Tylee and JJ, and it's like having more empathy for your daughter that murdered her own children than your grandchildren. And I don't know, I couldn't get past that. Like a lot of times I was like, girl, you're speaking the words of that you don't truly forgive your daughter, Lori, but also you're not, I don't know, you're not doing right by Tylee and JJ either.
No, totally not. But playing your devil's advocate, the problem with that is that it's not just your daughter, it's your daughter and your son. You have four, and you have two people who are sitting here saying, he's crazy. Mom, we're
Yeah.
here. We're dealing with this. Like, don't listen to him. Absolutely not. He's freaking crazy. Blah, 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 blah. But the bigger thing is, how did no one in her family hear her podcast about how she speaks to God and angels? She
I
doesn't
think,
sleep,
yeah.
doesn't need anything. It took the daughter-in-law, Kelsey, right? Is that her name?
Mhm.
Yeah. Kelsey,
Yeah.
Colby's wife, to be like, what the fuck is happening here?
Also, why I have a hard time having empathy for the mother, the grandmother, because I'm like, are you just as fucking crazy? Like, I hate to say that, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree,
Sometimes it
but sometimes it can. I get that. I just the religious manipulation that
that
fucking happened
bad part
throughout
about
the entire thing was sick. Like, for one, to even be on a level of believing that you are just this higher up
yeah,
spiritual person, I don't know, is one thing in its own. But then to later on be justifying, not even justifying, just writing off and just like, whatever, like you just like fucking spilt a bag of salt to like your other son who's asking you, like, I miss my family. What what happened? And you for you to just say, I'm sorry that you don't understand the bigger picture is like sick. Like
oh,
that is
Colby
whole,
saying that to his mom. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Like that is like the most sickening, culty, religious manipulation ever. Like
totally.
to just justify every bad thing that you do.
We already
I
saw
don't
it
know.
happening.
Huh?
We already saw it happening because how they laid it out was pretty, all the damning evidence, correct?
Yeah.
So at Colby and Kelsey's wedding, Tylee wasn't there. His sister he grew up with
Yeah.
wasn't there. Like that right there is a big red flag.
Mm-hmm.
She's a child. Why would she not be at the family wedding?
Yep.
A ski trip? Like that's probably true, but she was probably I don't see her mom being like, no, you need to go to your brother's wedding.
Yeah. No.
She's probably like, no, go ahead. It doesn't matter. Your brother will probably get married again. You know, like that's the
Yeah.
woman I see her as.
That's definitely the kind
She
of
kept
woman.
saying, girls, you have to go back to your girls. You have to go back to your girls. She said it too many times for it to be uh,
Yeah.
a joke.
Yeah.
It seemed
Mm-hmm.
more of a possessive thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And then
She
I mean,
is,
obviously Kelsey felt it because she was like,
it's
Jesus,
fucking weird.
Jesus loves you, but he loves me most. Who says that?
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Who says that?
Dude, kudos to Kelsey, honestly, because when I tell you, I would have, I already get like um irrationally angry when someone is pushing their own beliefs onto me or to other people around me because I don't give a fuck. Like, quit talking about it to me because you're not gonna do much, other than to make me mad. So I just, sorry, my kid's yelling, so I can't concentrate. Um, so I just can't fathom if that was actually spoke to me, I would be like, you are a delusional, insane person. Like, you're just, why do you think the entire world and like if there's a God, why would God only be?
Yeah.
Why is God focusing on you, bitch?
Why would only 144,000 be
Right,
accepted?
right.
That,
Exactly.
that makes no
Like
sense.
honestly, if that is your God, I don't want no part of it because like there's many more people, good people in the world, you
Yeah.
know?
And then we find out that he murdered his wife, her new husband,
Yes.
Chad Daybell.
Yes.
And first time they met each other, because she's
Oh wait, let's rewind because her brother is who killed Charles, yeah?
yes,
Yes, okay. And then now she's remarried.
after the Daybell. So
Right.
she already met the Daybell, and that's when everything started changing. After
Right.
Kelsey and Colby's wedding, everything started changing more.
Yes.
He went to work. He flew from Phoenix Airport to Houston or Austin or one of those places.
Wherever, yeah.
Um, and she decided right then and there that they were going to cancel his return flight. She was going to take his truck. She was going to take it away from the airport so he couldn't get it. And then take all of his clothes, underwear, belongings, everything, and get it out of the house. Like removed it. She a like even if you caught him cheating, do you think that canceling his ticket and removing his truck from the airport is a logical thing to do?
You know, I I can be a little petty sometimes, so I do understand. That would be like the most petty, funny thing if he did in fact cheat. He didn't.
Well, we know that she's
But
um the bigger
like that would be something silly, goofy, funny that could be funny. But
the bigger problem that I have with it is that she literally tells the cops, I canceled it. I told him not to come home. I got rid of all of his stuff. And the cops are just like, meh.
exactly, because she was, I hate to say it, but if she was overweight and less aesthetically pleasing, less conventionally attractive,
She wouldn't have been married five
it
times.
would not have been the same.
No.
But even with the police, it would not have been the same. There would have been more questions, which is sickening.
Would there be?
Well, I guess we don't know,
No.
but I would, I don't know.
This goes back to the whole everyone needs to do their due diligence, do a background check on first dates, blah, blah, blah. But it goes back to the fact that,
Well, she wasn't insane at first.
well, right. She was,
What made her insane was being manipulated by religion essentially.
she already valued religion higher than anything else.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the bigger
If
problem.
religion is the number one, like on your list of priorities in your life, if religion is number one, you should, I believe you should reevaluate that. Like there is so much that people get soaked up into. And I'm not bashing religion. If
No,
whatever you believe in, I don't care. Like
I
whatever makes you feel good and you do it.
we are not churchgoers. We do not go to church. I
No, me
believe
neither.
that there's something bigger out there. My husband just believes in aliens, so that's fun. I think that there is a God, obviously, in my mind. I want to hope that there's something bigger than just us and
Yeah.
not aliens that are going to invade us. Okay. Um, I I like the morals of the Christian church because
Eh.
it literally just tells you like, hey, be a good human. Do good.
I think that's where I get angry with religion because it's normally, I shouldn't say normally, but so often the people around me that are preaching like the morals of the Christian church and all these things, they don't follow it themselves and they just like ask for forgiveness. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll ask for forgiveness when I die, like,
Walk
and we'll
the
figure
walk,
it out
talk
then.
the talk
Because
is my thing.
exactly.
Exactly. I
If
don't
more people would walk the walk,
human. I
I
don't
would,
yeah.
I wouldn't be so angry.
I don't like the people that pray for things but are never grateful for what they have.
Ding, ding, ding. You just fucking killed it because that is also what I always see. It's like, why are we're praying for something that you can fix on your own?
Mhm.
Why are we praying when you can take 2 seconds to just reflect and understand that that was you?
Mhm.
You did that.
Yeah.
Um,
A lot of people don't hear it that way because they don't want to.
exactly. They don't want to.
They don't want to. They don't have I was always told and not pressured, but like encouraged to find out more about different religions. You don't have to be just one.
I
Obviously,
think when you learn other
about
religions, you
religion, I was
start.
like, there's so many cults in this fucking world.
Mhm.
Like how, how, and why is it always a mixture of Mormonism? Mormonism?
Um, I'm gonna. I'm apologizing for offending someone now because I know I'm gonna. But my thing is, how I see it, is little kids are sponges, right?
Totally.
They learn everything that we tell them and they take everything and just absorb it. So when you're teaching your babies religion that quite frankly, all the people in my life or around me are like, sorry, I keep having deer out there. All the people, not even necessarily in my life, but just that I see on Facebook or whatever, they don't have a full understanding of the whole Bible.
Why would
None of them have read the full Bible.
why would they?
Um, and it's like, I can't stand that you're picking and choosing what you want to
Mhm.
hear out of the Bible and then passing it along to your children. Well, of course, they're gonna grow up believing that belief because like they have absorbed that just like the fucking alphabet, you know,
Yeah.
from day one. And so like Mormonism and stuff, it's like that's a little bit extreme in the way, not extreme, but in the way of like they they go to church, they do all that shit. So like from a young age and on, it's been a constant in their life. And then it's like by the time they're adults, they don't have critical thinking skills on their own.
Yeah.
Like they are so conditioned and used to someone just standing in front of them and telling them what this meant from this book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, with that being said, you can also read your horoscope and it could be picking and
Oh,
choosing what you want to do.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So
I don't really do that either though. But
who cares? You know?
yeah. But
It
that's the exact thing. That's my thing is I like to be open-minded to all things, but I have found that I cannot be the devil's advocate or ask questions, genuine questions to the religious folks around me because
they believe.
it's they believe and they get angry at my questions. They believe that I am just being an asshole,
Yeah.
um, and pushing back when really I'm trying to clarify, like, are you trying to convince yourself or do you actually know what you're fucking talking about and can answer my damn question? You know?
Everyone has their own interpretation of everything. My big
Exactly.
is let's look at Nexium. Nexium is a cult that was in Jesus Christ, Albany. Um, he's in jail for life. Okay.
Yeah.
He did some terrible, terrible things. Um, he also got it from Scientology and the Book of Mormon. Scientology got their cult from the Book of Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Ward group started from the Book of Mormon. I'm finding a problem with that. I'm not saying all Mormons are like that. I want to know what they're teaching to create all these cults as well. How is this working? How do was Lori Vallow in a cult? Absolutely.
Yeah. I
Is
mean,
her and her husband
if you're willing to kill your children for your religious leader or whatever,
have it just you two because you guys are the enlightened ones. Like, come
and
on.
it blows my mind because come on, bitch.
Yeah.
Come on. You two stand in that fucking mirror and look at yourselves and truly believe, like, ask yourself, if God could choose two people in this whole world,
You two?
why the fuck is
Absolutely.
it you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
But on top of
Come
it,
on.
he's not sleeping. She said she doesn't need sleep anymore. Red flag right there.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be hallucinating, doing whatever. But
Obviously.
why could nobody get her help?
Why would
Everyone
they?
fucking
No one thought,
failed her.
yeah, no one thought that there was something
No,
wrong. They
failed her. They
failed
failed JJ and Tylee.
the children because the
Yes.
children didn't or couldn't say, hey, something's wrong.
I do feel extra bad for Tylee. Obviously, I feel terrible for JJ because he was so young, but Tylee, you know damn well that she knew
Something wrong.
something going on. It wasn't that she was totally blind to it. So, like, before she was murdered, did she know that she was gonna be murdered?
Probably
Like,
not.
you know what I mean?
She probably knew something was iffy. They were obviously in Yellowstone. That was the last picture of her on September 8th. And
Yeah.
JJ didn't die for 3 weeks after that. And he was the autistic one. So obviously, and they also say that he repeated things and that
I
he,
was gonna just bring that up, and I was like, well, maybe he kept repeating something along the lines about Tylee's death.
yeah,
And I'm wondering if Tylee had to, and I'm air quoting this, people that aren't watching, had to die because maybe she was old enough to know things and hear things, and maybe she was potentially pushing back at Lori, like, you're fucking crazy.
something.
What are we doing?
She was 16. Why didn't she
Yeah.
call grandparent. She had a phone. She couldn't talk to anybody. That's the thing. She knew something and they
There's a reason why she was crying, and anytime, Colby or the grandmother was like, "Are you okay, hun?" And she's like, "I'll be okay." That just like broke my fucking heart because it was like she couldn't reach out. She wanted to,
yeah, but she didn't
is
know.
how it seemed. Ugh. She
So
didn't want to go.
no.
And it breaks my heart that that she had to.
Went and she died.
Yeah.
She died instantly.
Yeah.
Like that's just absolutely bonkers to me. So sad.
I just
I'm glad that she's getting I'm glad she's getting tried for both of their murders, and I'm glad that Chad Daybell also is getting tried for that murder and his
Aren't
wife.
they shooting for death penalty?
I hope so. But
I I think that I saw that they were shooting for death penalty because I looked it up to see if they, had discovered anything yet, or not discovered, decided anything.
she um
I just can't even wrap my head around the entire thing. And wait, did we ever hear what came of her brother?
he died from a random like anomaly.
Oh, he died of karma, you're saying.
Probably. But he died Alex, right? His name is Alex.
Yeah.
Um Alex Hall. Death. Uh His death was attributed to blood clots and high blood pressure. The day before his death, Cox had been informed by Lori and Chad that Tammy Daybell's body was going to be exhumed. And he also was involved in that as well. He did a lot of bad things. And it truly shows who saw who for what. And the oldest brother, Adam, is the only one that saw and talked to everybody and knew that there was something fishy going on.
Yes. Which is also, if we go back to not having empathy for the grandmother, why do you not see this? Like, she's got something off with her too. Like, you can just see it. But whether it's being able, like gullible,
She's too,
I feel like it's gullible.
yeah.
It's ignorance, it's like,
But that's also shelter. When you're not exposed to anything, you have to think about how her life was. What is she? In her 70s at minimum?
yeah.
Minimum. Because her child's 50.
Yeah.
So she probably got married right away. She was probably born into FLDS. Is that it?
Yes.
Fundamentals of Latter-day Saints.
I was like, I know it's LDS.
Yeah, I think it's FLDS.
Okay.
I don't know. She was probably married off right away and then had children right away. I mean, she had 4 of them.
Which is honest, that is the generational curse that was being passed down. Like, just doing your duty of being a air quotes woman and going and worshiping and popping out babies and just doing what the men tell you to do. What did that result in? That resulted in many, many bad things,
Any bad
you
thing.
know? Because if you think about it truly, the lack of religion in all of this, would Tylee and JJ be alive? Not even the lack of religion. Let me take that back. It's not the religion. The lack of excessive.
Really.
What am I trying to say? What's the word?
Cult, like,
Obsessive?
yeah, no, excessive
Yeah.
pushing.
Because there's a difference between being religious and believing that like Jesus and God have like whatever the hell she thought. Like chosen you to like pick people off one by one. Like, no, girl.
There's so many
No.
cults though. There's that God woman that's there as well, which
I couldn't stand her either. She's like, I knew that he was on the bad side and I was on the light. And I'm like, no, you're all the fucking same.
yeah, you're
You're
human.
still, you still think the same way. You just haven't murdered someone because of it. Like,
And it's absolutely bonkers of what people will do and what people, when they have nothing, think they need. And
and
that's,
that is what it is. So I do have empathy because I often see when people get to their lowest lows, that's when they grasp onto religion. But that's why it's dangerous. It's like you you know,
yeah.
I'm not saying it's always dangerous. I'm saying dedicating your whole life and anything that good happens in your life, you say that Jesus gave it to you. It's like, no, you worked hard for that. You fucking take the credit, you
Well,
know?
most people don't think of themselves that highly. And Lori
Well,
Vallow,
but they need to. They need to put themselves on a fucking pedestal before Jesus. And that is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying.
other people just don't think that way. And
And
that's
I get it. And
long
you
as
know, if that works for you, that works for you. I'm not dogged on that.
yeah. Don't murder your children. You can still believe in God. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, I don't care what you believe in. Just rule number one, don't fucking murder your children. Rule number two, don't torture them while they're here.
Be a human. Do your due diligence.
Do your due diligence. Get a
No.
vasectomy. Or get your tubes tied if you are gonna murder your children. Just don't even have them.
Yeah.
You know? Just don't even have them at all.
Self-aware.
Self-awareness. The world is lacking self-awareness. Let me tell you. That is our issue.
A lot of it.
So much of it.
So you can watch Sins of Your Mother of Our Mother on Netflix. It's
And
a
write in the comments about how horrible she is. Because I have a lot of pent-up anger for her, for real.
she she lied. She just did everything so shady.
Yeah.
And they just wanted to see the kids. And that's if no one even bothered, they would have gotten away with it.
No, yeah. She I loved when she tried to lie and say that her kids were at so and so's house when so and so's the one that called the fucking welfare check.
She's like, they're not here. Why would you say that? I'm glad she recorded it too.
I am too, because when she said, if you loved me,
Then they blame the boyfriend. Oh, he has
yeah.
influences on you. What the fuck do you mean? Decent human
Oh my God.
consideration?
Yeah.
He doesn't want, he said something's happening, something's fishy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let
I'm
us,
gonna need to go garden after this. You know damn well I am.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, let us know and we will be with you guys next week.
Okay, bye.